Alright. Do I want to have this off gas at the same amount? Sure. Well, actually, no. We'll leave it at... This one we can leave to get up to 75. This one I don't want to off gas. Well, you know, maybe I should. We'll see how it works at 75. We will see how all of that works. But hopefully, this is just going to mean that over time, we're going to build up quite a lot of petroleum down there. Last year, I had to repair an engine on a pressure washer that fell into a lake while it was running. The water and oil had combined to form a white emulsion. Interesting. I have to confess my ignorance here. I am not sufficiently au fait with chemistry to even begin to guess at what had happened there. I would like to be. I take every effort that I can to get better. Oh, really? No, that's bad. I hate that artifact. But, alas. More free time is necessary. We've got 13 more cycles of natural gas build up before we've got a 30 cycle quiet period. If necessary, I can hook up an additional petroleum generator. And that might be wise. Given that, there's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to build this up down here, such that I can encourage a second petroleum generator to just deposit the polluted water down here onto the thermoactive tube. What did I make this one of? Copper ore. Should be fine. Heavy wire, straight across. And we're going to want some automation. We may as well get this sorted now rather than later. I'll wait to hook all of that up then. And this should ensure that we've always got some water here to absorb the energy from that thermal aqua tuner. We're actually starting to build up the crude oil there. Nice. Very nice. Do we have automation signals on these things? We do. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put a hydro sensor. If we end up with... Honestly, there's a certain amount of oil that there's just no point in me having more of. That being said, a stockpile of oil is probably always a good thing. Given that, I'm going to say... I'm not sure if there is an overheat temp on these, but let's assume there isn't for a moment. While this tile is below... I think a liquid tile can contain 1,000 kilos. Yes, okay. So, whilst we haven't completely filled this oil reservoir up to that level, send a green signal. The moment we do, however, I would very much like it if you shut down the oil wells. Don't need any more oil at that point. Now, that does mean we're not going to be producing natural gas. But if I really need that, I could try and build a sour gas boiler. That would be very far in the future, I should imagine, but I have no idea how I would go about building a sour gas boiler, but it's something that might be quite fun to try to puzzle through. There is an overheat on the wire, yeah. That's a good point. Let's have a quick look. What is the overheat temperature? Well, plus 50 degrees on top of whatever its natural overheat is. But I think this overheat is the melting point of copper. Like, if it doesn't have that, then it's yeah. Well, I don't know. I think if an item doesn't say it has an overheat temperature where it'll start getting damaged and then stop working, then its overheat temperature is effectively the point at which it will melt. I don't know, though. I could be wrong about that. If so, it'll be funny when everything breaks. And if not, it would be more funny if eventually it just, you know, got to 1,000 degrees and then melted my copper. Funny for a few seconds and then very, very sad. Okay, we're about to hook up both petroleum generators. We are now producing a lot of petroleum. These are good times. These are very, very good times. What's the temperature here? Temperature here is actually quite high, but in general, the temperature around here is being kept low. I could probably cool them by running the contents of this pipe over them. And I think that might be a good idea. So I'm going to add in some tungsten points there, just to move the temperature around a little bit. But this is so much better now. We're actually getting a lot of liquid over the thermal aqua tuners. That should help out quite a lot. Granted, we're using a lot in order to generate the oil, so yeah. Once this starts producing, though, that should be a big help for us. Okay, that's it for me. I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. It was fun to be part of the stream. Good night, Aavak and chat. Take care. I'll take care, Sparksap. I always have trouble enunciating the name. Hey, Oainen. There isn't an overheat on the 100%. Oh, yeah, I read that a little bit ago, actually. I haven't melted a wire yet, but I haven't tried very hard yet. Magma. That would be my bet. And or put it at the bottom of your rocket silo. That will probably test the thermal properties of your wires pretty thoroughly, I would imagine. Like crazy thoroughly, actually. Right, that has confused the flow of liquid so much. Let's get that done as quickly as we can. That should be bringing them down now. Yeah, there we go. Scared of vegans. I love the name. Thank you very much for the 5 months, mate. Diolch yn fawr. Right, let's get some tungsten. I've only got enough for one. Let's make a little bit more then. There we go. Wow, that drop though. It drops from 85 to 70 no time at all. And come on. Come on. Pop. Oh my lord. The energy consumption of my base is pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. But overall, I'm fairly happy with the way that that's set up right now. We are going through this water something fierce, though. Oof. We need that. We need the additional sources of water. Our grey water is doing nothing to help out there. We do have steam geyser, and when we hook that up properly, that's getting a little bit close to comfort. When we hook that up properly, we will be able to siphon off that steam as well and turn that straight into water. Whilst also making it into a bit of energy as well, which would be quite nice. Right, we've got a little bit more to do over here. Let's get all of this sorted. Can't put anything there yet. That's fine. And then this little section will be completely cored. I'll be fairly happy with that, actually. But yeah, we're going to need to expand out our storage down here, regrettably. There's our steam vent. So we really can't go much further than that. Go a tiny bit more, but that's really it. This is going to cause a bit... Oh, dear. Maybe. There we go. That's going to cause a little bit of water to leak down, but honestly, with people with their Atmos suits, it doesn't really bother them. We are going to need plenty more storage, though, so let's get all of this there. This will probably be enough for a while. We'll see. We'll see if between the geyser shutting down, how much we drain of this. We might be lucky. We might not actually need any more. Oh dear. Well, technically, we don't actually need this. It's good to have it as a backup, though. Let's go ahead and pop that in there. If all works the way it should, we should never have anything but natural gas in here. But that's such a big if. And it's such... that it's like I'm basically asking the game to prove me wrong. So let's not. Let's choose life. Okay. And as easy as that, we've massively expanded our natural gas storage. Right, we've got some more principles I need. Let's go ahead and check out what we want. Algae, I guess. Now, with that said and done, let's go ahead and have a think of what we want in our rec room. What do we need for a rec room? Let's have a quick gander. Room overlay. A recreation room. We need no industrial machinery and a maximum size of 96 tiles. That's fine. And we need a recreational building. Well, got the arcade cabinet. Draws a whopping 1.2 kilowatts. It gives morale of +2. Gives a little bit of heat. Comet Kablamo for up to 2 players. We've got a jukebot. Uses 960 watts. Morale of 2. We've got... there's probably a couple more things that we could have a look at setting up. You know what we haven't... Yeah, we need to get back to more research. We basically stopped a long time ago. We need to do more. There's all sorts of things. I need to get the steam turbine research just so I can see what I need to... how much plastic I need to make it. Let's have a look. The sauna uses steam to create a relaxing atmosphere. Increases duplicant morale. That sounds lovely. Truly. We've got the... where are you? The juicer provides refreshment for duplicants on their breaks. I don't remember what goes into a juicer. Bristleberry 600, meal lice, and mushroom. Quite a lot of things, actually. It takes very little power. Because 4 morale and +1 strength, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, ultimately, I would like to get to the point where I can make most of these things and run them without too much issue. But that's going to require a much bigger infrastructure than I've got right now. So for the time being, we're going to look for other things. There's the hot tub. Requires pipes to and from the tub and power to run the jets. Water must be a comfortable temperature and will cool rapidly. Increases duplicate morale. So this would actually be a way for us to use hot water and cool it down. That's an option. That's really an option. I'm liking that option. We've also got the mechanical surfboard, but it does splash water around. We could build up to making use of it properly, but I don't think that room is really fit for purpose. And we've got the espresso machine, but I'd need to grow pinch of pepper. Provides refreshment for duplicants on their breaks. We've also got the soda fountain. Now that would use CO2. Consuming soda water increases duplicant morale. So, really what I'm looking at here... we've got the beach chair, but we would need a sun lamp for that one. Maybe we've got enough power that we could probably pull it off. A beach chair and a sun lamp might be nice. Alright, I'm going to have a look at the soda fountain. Going to have a look at the hot tub. Going to have a look at the espresso machine. And the sun lamp. Let's have a quick gander. So, we're not going with this. Soda. Yum, lice juice. Even better, shroomy lice juice. Oh no. Loose? No. No. The puns, they've begun. Right, liquid intake pipe. Carbon dioxide, 1,000 grams per use. But I would need to put the CO2 into a canister for that one. 5 kilos of water per use. But gives recreation of morale 4, science +1. Now that means everyone's skills would increase faster. Now that is really nice. Sparkling water puts a twinkle in a duplicant's eye. Espresso machine. Pinch of pepper nut. Water. Athletics, so they'd move faster. That's quite nice. Now, hot tub. Water 100 kilograms. But it has to be 37.7 degrees. But I'm assuming that it begins at what? It begins overheating at 37.7? But I don't... Does this mean that it needs constant maintenance? Maybe it does. Sun lamp. Requires 960 watts. Produces 16 tiles of 40,000 lux light. Overheat. Produces a decent amount of heat. Beach chair. Duplicants can relax by lounging in sunlight. Third room. Recreation room. Oh, wow. Morale 5. If this building is in light dimmer than 10,000 lux. Oh, so this will actually work even if it isn't a sun? Ah. But 8 morale. Wow. That is actually kind of amazing. I think we're going to go for the sunroom. I don't usually have enough energy to spare to play with that. But, yeah, okay. We'll get this, and then we'll go through the plastic tree, grab that, and we'll see how that goes. How much skills have we got to give out? We got a couple. You've got everything I need you to have. Snowfoot, at this point I'm going to start giving you the building skills that I've been denying you up to now. And James, I mean, since you are actually a researcher at this stage, I'm going to let you continue to become a better researcher. All the way up, because that's just going to increase your skills across the board. Okay, super duper happy with that. This is all working okay. Easily got enough power. Yeah. Oh, this is going okay. We're not stockpiling as much petroleum as we were before, but that's fine. We are actually getting a decent... Oh, well, I guess that based on how often this is being used, I'm going to put that up at an 8. I'm going to say that that is as high a priority as refilling my coal power plants is. And there we go. We're starting to stockpile coal, probably from our stone hatches, having plenty of grub. Well done, peeps. Well done. We are starting to restore everything. Water is leaking down there, but that's fine. Ooh. I rather urgently need this done. Looks like you're taking care of it. But yeah, these pipes need to be done at least as far as these ones go. I don't mind so much having the output pipes take a little bit longer to get done. But I want the input pipes to take care of because we're about to fill up that reservoir. We've got another 8.6 cycles worth of natural gas to gather here. I don't want to waste any of it. Why is that melting? I guess heat is bleeding across? I don't quite understand that one. But, that's a curious one. I'd kind of like to get this liquid into the base rather than just leave it out there to be consumed by space, though. So, I might hook this up and start pumping it out if I can, rather than waste it. But hopefully someone will come take care of all of those in a moment. And let's have a look at the overall temperature again. Temperature in these rooms is manageable. It's coming in, the coolant's coming at 22.5, and it's leaving again at 26.5. So it's gaining 4 degrees through that little trip. By the time it gets down here, it's kind of a middling amount because this is dumping a lot of heat into it every now and then. But it's generally at 26. By the time it gets back up here, after wandering through this water, actually, yeah, it's back up to 26. So this water is now starting to gather quite a lot of heat energy. It's taken a long time considering this was a glacier at one point, but it is now starting to warm. That is a concern. That's quite a concern. The water coming over here is still reasonably cool. I could help out a little bit by putting down some temperature shift plates, perhaps. But ultimately, the CO2 is not a very good conductor of heat energy. So we're limited to a certain degree, no matter what we try with that. Maybe setting it up in a better position would be a better idea. But if we could access some of this water and just pipe it down, that might be a worthwhile thing to do. Oh, thank goodness we did actually manage to get that filled up. But this is filling rather shockingly fast. So I do need the rest of this hooked up. There we go. Alright. Reasonably happy now. There should be plenty of power for us for a while. Now what I can do is I can alternate which of my power sources are being used. If I want to allow the petroleum to back up a little bit, I can. And instead rely a bit on the natural gas generators generating power. Because, you know, we've got a decent amount of the stuff over here. At this point, there we go. These are all now going to start backing up again. Okay. Not too bad. Aavak, I wanted to stop by and thank you again for the years of content I've enjoyed from you. Found you almost 6 years ago, looking for no more gameplay. Cheers to you. Oh, thank you very much, Ice Winters. That's really kind of you to say. Joining back in, did get the cooling system problems resolved? Yeah, mostly. I suppose like that. Are Aquatunas even doing anything? Oh yeah. Basically, the way that aqua tuners work is, as McRollox mentions, they chill the liquid going through them by a set amount, 14 degrees. Now, depending on the specific heat capacity and thermal conductivity of that liquid, now that can represent a different amount of heat energy. But what happens is all the heat energy required to chill that liquid by 14 degrees is output into the device itself. If the device is just in gas, it's probably going to overheat pretty quickly because the gas is not going to be fast enough to pull that heat out of it and distribute it. Liquid, on the other hand, is very efficient at it because it can be quite dense. And generally speaking, it's got a good specific heat capacity. So as a result, you tend to kind of sit them in liquid, and they don't need to be completely submerged. That's enough. But there's a lot of heat being put into this. Whereas if the entire thing was surrounded in liquid, then that heat would be spreading out very quickly. But as you can see here, the liquid here is it's 34 degrees. Whereas the stuff down here is like 19. It used to be that this stuff was incredibly cold. It's been a while since then, however. It's been a while. Choose blueprint. I would love a vole pup, but I'm not going to take one just yet. They are amazing for barbecue. The main reason why they're amazing for barbecue is they have no natural limit to... they never get overcrowded, so they will always breed. You can literally have a tiny little box just full of millions of them. Your computer would break by that point, but, you know, you could do it if you were crazy enough. Okay, we're reasonably far into environmental appreciation. Then we're going to go for the sun lamp. But yeah, I think at this point I need to do something about the liquid that we're basically losing over here. Before that, though, let's get that last little bit there moved away. I would be happy with that. Indeed, I would generally be happy if we could get all of this stuff moved away. So let's go ahead and pop you there. Make that an 8. And then we're going to sweep everything up out of here. Just dump it down into this little spot. At that point, I'm going to core out the rest of this little zone. And just stick down here a pump. I will build insulation up along the line of this abyssalite. And I'm probably going to do the same on this side. So this little area is completely insulated in terms of temperature. I mean, insulation isn't perfect. It used to be, I think, if you made it out of abyssalite. But then they removed the ability to make it out of abyssalite. Probably because they took exception with the fact that people could have a perfect insulator. But once we've got this basically sealed off, then I'm going to access this area. I mean, this is not a particularly good airtight seal, but it's good enough. You don't have, like, you know, massive decompression in this game or anything like that. So, by and large, you're usually okay. And I want everything. Absolutely everything swept up into there. And it'll all drop down into this one tile where we can easily collect it later. Also on that note, let's go ahead and sweep up all, rather than mop up all of that water. Just because, you know, it is going to be causing some issues for my duplicants wandering around eventually. There we go. Sorted. Got some more stone hatch eggs down there. Fantastic. Eventually, once we have more than 7 in a location, they get wrangled. In that case, they'll be put down here for a while. But once that's up to 7 as well, then we'll basically have to butcher the remainder. Now, are we dealing with... There we go. They have now been groomed. Thank heavens. Thank heavens. Right. Need to eliminate the ones that we have already... move you as well. There we go. We will just keep you. That Velociraptor egg. Research-wise, we'll now want the sun lamp. It's going to take us a little longer to get there, but we'll eventually get there. Now, to build the sun chair. Beach chair, rather. I have no idea how big the sun lamp is. Does anyone happen to know if it's a 1, 2, or 3 tile structure? In width, that is. Yes, I have heard the info on the upcoming Oni DLC. I am super hyped to Kira Dragon Ball because I had no idea it was coming. And the idea of having separate colonies, it's going to be so good. So cool. I do feel a little bit like, oh man, you waited until I was just feeling confident with rocketry and I was about to, you know, get to rocketry before you changed everything. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Indeed. Happy 4th to everyone. If you weren't here for me wishing it earlier, have another one now. And if you were here earlier, well, have two. Why are you asleep?